with us never win. Oh yeah. No, no, no.
All right, I'm back with you, Trinidad and Tobago. Join me on Facebook and on YouTube. Remember, our address on Facebook is the Street 919 FM, and also you can see us on YouTube on Iwer TV, live broadcast on the Street 919 FM. So I really want to, you see, I like to let you all know. I know sometimes you all don't like me to do these things, but sometimes it's best. I prefer to do it so that you all can say that you heard it here first, or you all can say that, hey, you know, I didn't know, or I'm sure that I heard it for myself. You see, it's best for you to say you heard it for yourself than for you to say you hear it, somebody say it to you. All right? So... So you're hearing what is being said. You are seeing what is being done by the United National Congress under the leadership of Ms. Bisessa. But I want to so today Ms. Bisessa would have spoken. Today Ms. Bisessa would have spoken to her followers, and she would have spoken to the leaders, the media, on what is going on and why they would have had that protest today. And as I said before, you would have listened to the videos I played before, and you know you hear one young man said, is that if they wasn't wearing yellow and if it was for TNT, clearly he don't know that Ms. Bisessa is not for TNT. So he made a whole waste of video. Because he thought that, you know, even though they have on the UNC jersey, what wrong with that? Really and truly, if they didn't have on the yellow jersey, I would have been out there because it's for country, when they are not doing it for country. That's one. Two, the other gentleman who would have tried to play smart with foolishness and asking if the people in the red jersey is not being affected and all these different things. Clearly, he don't understand the issue. Right? So I want to share with you now. You all remember this? How many of you remember this? And I want to play it for you to hear it, so that you could tell me if you could remember this. Could you all remember this? Right? Listen to this,
Ought to hear. Example this.
They're waiting for we to riot. Rowley must go. Price of flour too high. Rice too high. Sugar too high. Everything high. He want to raise gas brand. Then taxis complaining. Everybody complaining. And you know what Rowley doing? Blaming Kamala. No. Rowley must.
While what she's saying. So I saw this video and it had me upset for more than one reason. But one of the main reasons why it got me upset is that it reminded me why good people don't go into politics. Because if you are to win in politics, you have to pander to the lowest common denominator and tell people what they want to hear, not what they ought to hear. Example this.
They're waiting for we to riot. Rowley must go. Price of flour too high. Rice too high. Sugar too high. Everything high. He want to raise gas brand. Then taxis complaining. Everybody complaining. And you know what Rowley doing? Blaming Kamala. No. Rowley must.
While what she's saying there has truth to it, everything is going up. Flour, sugar, rice, gas, the cost of living. Everything there she said is true. But what is not true is the fact that Rowley must go because of that. This is one time that you have to say the government has no control over why food prices are rising. Now, the right thing to do would be to educate your supporters and let them know why the food prices are rising, what is going on in the globe. But that's the right thing to do, and this is politics. So the opposition leader would rather sit down there and egg supporters along like, yes, the government has failed you, and the government is the reason why food price, as if the government sat down one day and said, you know what? Let me raise food price tomorrow. Here, let me make them suffer. I can give you at least 20 reasons right now why the government should lose the next general election. None of them have to do with food prices. None of them have to do with gas prices. You all just protest for the wrong things, you know. You all just sit down and suck salt for shit that you all should protest for, and then get up and look stupid for shit you all should stay quiet about. Let me educate some people, because like you all only have internet to watch porn and to watch Netflix. The world, not just Trinidad and Tobago, the entire world had to deal with COVID-19. They shut down there was no country left out of the grasp of COVID-19. And while the world shipping supply chains and manufacturing chains and everything else had to be dealing with COVID-19, the world was dealt another blow because a ship captain got his massive ship stuck in the Suez Canal. This caused a backlog of ships in the ocean that couldn't pass through the Suez Canal. The price of ship a container went up dramatically during this period, on top of how it went up during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we was dealing with that issue, then this issue, and just when we thought we would get a break, there's now a war in Ukraine, which is not only threatening the world's economy as a whole, it's also threatening to put us into a third world war. Gas prices are going up, oil prices are going up, food prices are going up, not only in TNT, because I know some people love to believe TNT exists in a vacuum, and things only happen in TNT, the work only place only in TNT. Not only in TNT, worldwide. Right now in the USA, yes, the mighty USA with all the money in the world, they just print their own money. They themselves can't even stabilize gas prices right now. And the thing about it is, it's a widely held view that the USA is immune from inflation, from printing large sums of money, because the US dollar is the world reserve currency. So that kind of helps them. And yet still, they are now experiencing rising fuel and food costs, pushes US inflation to 7.9%. But this is what people say, why don't you become an activist? You have good ideas. No, I will fail as an activist and I will fail as a politician. Because in order to be a proper activist or a proper politician, I have to come on here and tell you all what you all want to hear. Yes, Rowley bad. He raised the food prices. The government must go in the morning. And in my mind, I say to myself, these stupid people, they don't watch TV, they don't watch news, they ain't see what's going on in Ukraine right now. You know, you'll have the ones who will say the government failed because it didn't diversify the economy. We should have been growing our own food. Okay, what's stopping you from growing your own food? What's stopping you as a person? You see, when they call them on their bluff, they get upset. At the end of the day, many of us aren't built to be farmers. We just ain't built like that. The oil and gas has spoiled us. So we like to talk about why the government didn't do this, why the government didn't do that. But who taking the first step? Go under any comment section where people are saying, we need to start growing our own food, and ask them, what are you growing in your backyard? I bet you 9 out of 10 times they ain't growing nothing. Not even a tomato plant. At the end of the day, the government has one way to lower food prices right now. Subsidize it or take off the cost of importation. Either way, the country going to lose money. Subsidizing or losing tax revenue from the importation of it. That is not the answer.
I really hope you all are listening today. I'm going to the phone lines in a short bit now. But as a reporter, you know you try to do the right thing. So, let me show you all this. I want you all to listen to this, you know. Listen, look and listen. And when you're through with this, when I'm through playing this, I'm going to come back and take your calls. Listen to this.
Go ahead.
Good morning, UNC family. Good morning. Good morning. Can't hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We are UNC and we are.
Roll.
Thank you very much for joining us. I've gone to several venues today, and along the length and breadth of Trinidad, we have protests of this nature taking place in at least 30 different places. So we are protesting against the 4th increase in fuel prices. We are protesting against the increases in food prices. We are protesting against the murder and mayhem with the rise in crime in our country. And you know, all of this is happening today, the first day of school in 2 years. And what does our Prime Minister do? We jump on a plane and he goes on. Yes, I'm right. Ronnie, you're going Barbados, but we say Ronnie must go. Ronnie must go. That's no care for the children, the families of our country. And then we have the Gestapo of the state spying on ordinary citizens. I have evidence I shared with the media earlier of a personal confidential memo where they're saying
that they've been spying on us. And they have phone numbers. And they say they know what the UNC planning. But they don't know what we're planning. Because everybody in this country know what we are planning. Is that Rowley must go? Politically, Rowley must go. So thank you for coming out today. Thank you for your support. All must go. God bless you.
All right, so I think you have heard enough there. So that was the address by their political leader, right? The UNC and the proud. The UNC and the proud. So you could understand why she would say the party first and then the country, right? So the UNC and proud, and she's answered. She said why they're out there. Right, the food prices, as I just played for you, a clip by a young man who would have explained what happened, why we have high food prices. But again, you have to play all so that you can understand the mindset. So when I had two young African boys coming on TikTok and sharing with you their views, you're seeing who informing them. You're seeing where they're getting the information from. You're seeing where they're not doing any research at all. You're understanding that their views are really just views that are not, they haven't done any research at all. But what can I say? That's the country we're living in. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Pastor Google. Dr. Google, I want to thank you very much for bringing forward the facts and the issues surrounding us. Everybody who would want to pay more for anything, right? Nobody do, but I can understand. I do have to be a party supporter and to see what is going on. I know what the UNC left when they came out of office. What they left an empty treasury. The central bank governors told the country, wasn't the government? The government make his public speech and told the country there's not enough money to pay public servants. And there has been problems after problems after problems, and this government has to be fixing and adjusting. Now, if you give me a good reason why you shouldn't raise the gas, I will support you. But there's no good reason. The price of gas have to raise and the food have to raise has nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago squarely and the government. But then again, the opposition is just good at that. But we see how they govern us. So I am not going to sit down here and listen to the kind of nonsense I've been hearing from them. But we need somebody to come out and speak. We have heard from these political scientists that come and they tell you the value of the dollar because how the country is and this and that, and the real value of the dollar. They can give you every good reason. Pastor Google, could you? I don't know if you could find some one of them because I hear none. And I don't want to say nobody and talk, right? But if you could find one of these persons who could educate us and tell us about the price, the food hike and the gas hike and those things international and how it will affect Trinidad, like how they tell us to tell the government to devalue the dollar so we will pay more for gas and more for everything. But here it is the government to refrain from doing it. The government totally come out publicly and say they're not devaluing the dollar. You see anybody supported the government and come and protest against these political scientists and telling them no to that? No in hearing that. And now there's no for these political scientists and them who knows everything. You're not even hearing them when I speak what is happening to you. Pastor Luke, as I said, I may be wrong, somebody might be come out and talk, but if you could find that and play for me, I would like to listen because I'm searching to hear from one of them and I hear nothing. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Pastor Google. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah, Pastor Google, from that last caller there.
Caller, you have to call me back. I don't know what's happening with your phone line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon.
So we're looking for Mariano Brown. What is the next one? Karen Inez Teixeira. But you know who I want to find? Pastor Google, I don't know if you can find us. Fazil had interviewed General Manager of Unitech. You all this talk, all are we talking here? The General Manager, the man who has the largest fleet of gas station and the largest fleet of haulers on the road to pull fuel. is saying to us, because I heard that in 2020, the government been trying to liberalize gas stations, because right now gas stations is about to hand over to private owners. Once you could afford it, they want to take it over. That man had asked the government in 2020 or 2021 to import his own fuel. And the government refused because he wanted the same way fuel in America and England goes up and around the world, he would go up when the prices go up and come down, as he said, when the prices come down. And I'm asking nobody, yeah, what Francis asked him, so why so? He said, is this the time? He said, well, the population has to live with it. So if the government wasn't in control of fuel and we had handed over to these people, you think a dollar, we'd have an increase today of $1? If our dollar was to devalue, as they had indicated in the initial stages, what do you think would have been the cost of fuel today? So all these pontificators who come around, and here we are, and the argument is, you see the clip you play from the man, here what they tell me, I neutral. Me, and they're only using my kind to be neutral, eh? It's only my kind neutral. If you notice, Saturday Dumb and Dumber bring out the next set who went up on the pushback. You ain't seen nothing about that. At least I ain't seen nothing over there. They can't tell me they had 5,000 people, 50,000 people. I can't hear them. I don't know if all they had on Saturday. And I now know where these people get. All of them who neutral, I now know where they're getting paid from. Because for you to call this man to have an interview on your radio program, and these two fellas cannot afford to pay for that 2 hours on the radio station. So somebody has to pay for them. So all of a sudden, my people becomes neutral. Gas prices, and you hear the opposition leader just now, government is responsible. I want to know when she gets into office, what's she going to do? Remove taxes on importation of food? Well, they wake up now, please. The only thing these people breaks in is jail. That is inevitable. Why she balling this iron on them? So if they was the guy arrested, they know what's going on there. It's because the government against them. The same people want to tell me about Singapore. And when my first prime minister was here, they tell me he wanted to change here like Singapore and become Lee Kuan Yew. But today, they are both on the same Lee Kuan Yew. But we should not get so dead. We should already have we train running up and down the road to avoid them maximum. Pastor Google, enjoy it.
All right.
We behind time.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Pastor. Bigger, more powerful countries than ours. Removing the subsidies. Right? But we must be the only country in the world who mustn't make any adjustment considering our gas prices. Although our gas prices are still very, very low compared to places like Barbados and America. Right? And Guyana who know find out and gas compared to gas too. So Dr. Rory must be the only magician amongst leaders in the world who cannot make any adjustment in his economy. And then you already heard that the gas association said we still find the government and raise the gas price enough because their profit still not enough. I think the Sabbath I got it at that point recently. But what I really want to do, I don't know if you remember a man who was Superintendent Iwer, right? He was on a formatted station this morning, and by chance I managed to hear him talking about, if you know you call him, crime out of hand. The police was this. The world going on there. Right? But I want to remind me as Superintendent Iwer, two of the things I really remember about him is one, I did a great grandmother was a youth. Right? In the second, but you know, guys who bring that to the forefront and the thing that I made to something. And the second thing I remember about him is that I dreaded Django in Enterprise. I don't know if you can remember that in the past. I dreaded Django. And he didn't go down there. You know who approved it? Satisfied? It was Mr. Jack Warner. And as usual, all the people in search and type talking BS. You understand? Because these are the kind of people trying to give the impression that here was Wonderland. And all of a sudden, I look leave and no more Wonderland. And they hear that the government is a madman who was doing. Because he didn't bring the iron up, because he didn't value the balance, and he didn't tell people to do the function and going to stand to the court. Thanks very much.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hey, Uncle Sterling.
Peace and blessings. If you're hearing any noises, rain falling on my rooftop here, Pastor Google, you play two voices in junior program. Yeah, Pastor Google. And I'm wondering if these people were living in Trinidad and Tobago between 2010 and 2015, Pastor Google, I wonder if these two individuals were living in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, Pastor Google, because we had a party in Trinidad and Tobago that create treason against the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But I hear nobody come out and protest, and nobody come out and say anything for billions of dollars been siphoned from the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and nobody in protest. You hear, Pastor Google? Nobody makes noise. You hear, Pastor Google? And this is not the first time, you know. This is the second time that that party create treason. You hear? People still, since the airport scandal, people still in Trinidad and Tobago migrate to stand for what they did to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, because during 2010, they've been safeguarded by the government at that time. Here, Pastor Google, where these people were in these times that they didn't come out and protest against people that robbed them the values of Trinidad and Tobago, and then two persons come out and talking about a crap about protest, and people in yellow jersey and people in red jersey. Where these people living, Pastor Google? Are we living under a rock that was only when rain come down we just come out like crab? Pastor Google? Look, Pastor Google, I get fed up, you know, because let me tell them, don't feel it's Dr. Rowley, you know. Don't feel it's the PNM, you know, because rougher times coming out all you so furiously. You hear? In the next 2 to 3 years, all they're going to be balling Dr. Rowley, you know. It's a different song all they're going to be singing in this part of the world, because all you understand freeness. Yeah, it's where are we in this position, you know, Pastor Google? Pastor Google, because we could get it, and in sweat or in work faith, don't say, just say by the sweat of your brow, Pastor Google, and plenty of them in Trinidad and Tobago, just sitting down. It's only when the PNM come to bail them out, they have voice. But when people come to rob them, they have no voice. Pastor Google, I done with that, yes. Peace and blessings. You have a great day. Take care for me, please. Rain falling in the country. Just be on your guard for me, please. Thank you. Thank you for the time, Pastor Google. Blessings.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon,
right.
Pastor Google.
Yeah.
It amazes me all the time whenever there are serious matters for life and limb in this country, people start to protest. You know, there is a strategy with some opposition leaders. What they do is confuse the people who are illiterate and who don't know better, or who for party, confuse them with a story so that they can go out there and protest. It doesn't matter whether they believe in what they're doing, it's just that they must do it. And that is a strategy that is being used, so that when you have people out there protesting, it would seem as if everything is going bad. Now, Pastor Google, I find it amazing. I'm a pensioner, and I know government was rather hard-pressed. Hard-pressed because in spite of the pandemic, government workers were paid. They were home. Most of them were home. Senior citizens got their pensions. You had people who are waiting on all kinds of help. You know, the people who are disabled, all of those people, money paid out to them. Then you had the taxi drivers. You had some artists getting some money. And those are extra monies that government had to put out. It wasn't money that was planned in the budget. It was money, all that money to buy hampers from all the farmers. Some farmers may have given willingly, but some things had to be bought. And on top of that, vaccinations also had to be bought. And when the vaccines were bought, you had some people from the opposition saying, don't go and take it, don't take none. And surreptitiously, they go in behind and taking their vaccines and living life. And this is continuing. You had government had to prepare schools. You had to get laptops. You had people to volunteer. You had people who had to get hospitals were under stress. For a small nation like ours, under the stress with oil prices zero to say. At the time when the opposition was in power, money was flowing. People felt comfortable that they could have taken at will, and there was no protest. Nobody protested about that. And now things are hard. So what the opposition is doing, they're using a strategy, telling government to do things that they know there is no money to do. So that when government tries to even do something, it looks inadequate, and they come out and make a noise. But listen to me, government is like a parent. There comes a time when the parent takes care of the child, and after a certain age, when the child hasn't learned how to take care of himself and herself, they will have to get up and get. And I want to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the right is in this. We're not far off than worse off than other places. Look at the Great America. They have to study war in Ukraine. They have to study their people. So we in Trinidad must take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I have to look on your radio, though.
Okay.
All right, you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Trinidad and Tobago have a taxi driver online. I would have called him because I want him to share his views on what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago today. There was a call for taxi drivers to stay home today. As a driver, what are your thoughts? What have you seen happening?
Well, the call that was made was a political call to start with.
Okay.
Yeah? Right, because on my end, north, so that is 99% of the drivers came out to work.
Okay.
Nobody heard that foolish call. Right? Because drivers have their bills to pay, drivers have to mind their family, drivers can't, because we have been watching from since last week leading up to today, where we noticed that president of that Shogunate taxi stand, who seemed to be the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Taxi Drivers Network, have been rubbing shoulders with certain political grasshoppers in this country.
Okay.
Yeah. So even his own members saw his true colors, and the Shogunate drivers came out in full force this morning. Okay?
Right.
Now, on the price increase, on the increase in the fuel price, and my vehicle is a diesel vehicle, right? The gas went up by $1, the diesel went up by 50 cents. But we have a minimal few drivers talking about increasing the taxi fare. And anybody who knows me, working taxi policemen, and it is $22 right now. I do not take $22 on the passengers. I take $20 on the traveling public. And this 50 cents that the government increased by 50 cents, I don't see no need for them to increase the fare, because it was just the 1st of June 2020 that they would have increased the fare. And they increased the fare back then in the height of the pandemic.
Yes.
Based on the amount of people we were transporting. Yeah? So we was at 50%, and then we moved to 75% in 2021. And they made a promise that when we go back to 100%, the price would have dropped back. Yeah? Nothing of the sort took place. Today, when you speak to the executive, they make reference now to the cost of living. That's why they can't drop back the fare.
Wow.
Right? So that is my take on the fuel increase and the so-called protests that they asked for drivers to stay home today. That call wasn't heeded by drivers.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank you very much for sharing with Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is a taxi driver. Today I was on another frequency boasting about him, and say it had one driver who had a hard boy. And it's this taxi driver. I want to thank him for coming on and sharing with us. So he has given us an update on how the response have been where the call was made for taxi drivers to stay home today. All right, and I want to thank him very much for taking time out of his busy schedule to be on the street now on 9FM. All right, let me go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Pastor Good, thank you for taking my call, my brother. How are you going?
I am good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Just listen to all the comments and different things. Yeah, and I'm so glad that they get a taxi driver online. I'm so glad that he come out and he explained to the public what he did and what he intended to do, and that none of the taxi drivers in his area didn't need to be called from the UNC. This is not taxi driver protest. This is the UNC calling all the people to protest. And I'll tell you guys this, Pastor Good, Trinidad and Tobago, although in a happy place, although very happy in a happy place, you know.
Mr. Toronto, tell us.
I'm living in Canada here.
Right.
I don't see nobody protesting for high gas price.
So tell me, Mr. Toronto, how is it? Because my time is going, and I'm glad that you called in from Toronto. How Toronto has been dealing with this gas price hike? Did you all raise the gas prices raised in Toronto?
Pastor Google, right now, my vehicle is $150 to full up.
Never.
And that vehicle will be on the road 7 days a week. So check that. 7 days a week. You have to come be filling that vehicle all the time. Full up alone is $150, Pastor Google, compared to $80-something and whatsoever before. So check $150 full up one time. And I have to go all the time to put $60 to make it, to top it up and whatnot and what. Check that for 7 days it's on the road. Trinidad and Tobago, do not listen to these people. Do not listen to these people like they're coming and telling all you to shut down the country because gas price all over the world. I have it here. It's here. Nobody demonstrating for high gas price. Nobody demonstrating for high food price here. But all listen to these people and telling you guys to go and demonstrate and shut down the country. But you know what happened? Follow them. In 2010, just Brother Sullivan just said 2010, they ripped the country, they raided the country. Right? Another government coming to office trying to build it back. There is a pandemic. And all they teach the people called to go and demonstrate. Listen, these people don't care about us. You know what she said? I care about you and party first.
Yes.
But she care about the country.
Yes.
Pastor Google, Vice President Doctor on the screen, brother.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Toronto.
Okay.
And this is what Mr. Toronto is talking about. This is what Mr. Toronto is referring to. Listen to this. You're talking about protests. You're talking about protests. Listen to this.
The people to support you. So you want to be leader, you want to be whatever it is, prime minister. It don't work so. You have to support your party. You say you support country before party. Well, go to hell. Go to hell. Well, go to hell. To be whatever it is, prime minister. It don't work so. You have to support your party. You say you support country before party. Well, go to hell. Go to hell. Well, go to hell.
So then they're not protesting for country. They're protesting for party. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello. What is the first time you forget the literati and them who be around down in the waterfront? They don't even know what they're protesting for. So we know that his party they're protesting for. Thank God it have people in this country who sensible, plenty people. But those who getting on like that leader is the people who take the free P&M education and plain dotish with it. You understand? And people who illiterate going to follow them. Imagine that is what is happening there, you know. People not thinking for themselves. They're just following the party. You understand? And thank God that you got a sensible taxi driver this morning to come and talk. Mister, a glory in your spirit today. Hallelujah, amen. And you know what the government should do? Call all the taxi drivers. Call, let's come to a meeting. Put on all your name. Who want to raise their fares? From what to what? And those who say no, put them aside. Those who say yes, you take away the taxi badge. And all the maxi and them on the bus route who feel they want to raise their fare, put them off the bus route. You know, there's one
See that you're treading on dictatorship there. That is dictatorship, see that?
Is a better that they just want.
See that is
You're trying to be
dictatorship.
reasonable with people past the Google, and they put, they put all the sense in the world out of the equation. Imagine that leader of the opposition and other leaders in other parties that trying to form that will talk that way, or you're not talking to sensible people, or you all are talking to illiterate people who just running behind parties, as she say. And that behavior she displayed. When Dr. Rowley had said it, all know they calling for
apologize. We know that. We discussed that already. I have some callers calling and my time gone. So let me deal with this. All right then. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Nice. I'm glad you get back your voice from that beautiful singing.
Good afternoon.
All right. Yes, sir. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Pastor Google. I'm
Yes,
by extension Trinidad. Yeah, you hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, where you calling me from?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
New York City, New York.
New York, I
Yes,
want you to
Pastor
tell
Google.
me, first of
I'm
all,
listening.
wait. I know you want to run in, but I want you to address two things quickly before you share your thoughts, right? One, I'm hearing people saying that you could go into a grocery with $5 in America and come out with 2 big bags of groceries, right? That's one. Two, I'm hearing people saying that we should not compare the fuel price with what's happening in America to Trinidad and Tobago. So I want you to address those two things to me.
Pastor Google, the food is from the truth. And I think people in Trinidad have to understand, as you know, I'm Trinidadians, and we have a lot of Trinidadians out here. We have a lot of them. And there are a bunch of hypocrites. Because I listen to UNC and the UNC leader, these people in them, I'm trying to understand. Let me tell you something. You see fuel prices here? It gone to the roof. Let me tell you, it gone to the roof. Food prices, let me tell you something. You take $100 beef and go to shop in the grocery, let me tell you, now you come back with a small bag. So Trinidad is not immune to anything. And you know what's the sad thing about it? The opposition leader know what is happening, But she just clamming to a bunch of people who knows and these people who follow knows what's happening, But I think the opposition leader just want to create mayhem in the country, And I want to say this, thank God Trinidad have Dr. Rowley running this country. Because the UNC, they would have thrown it down up in there and don't know exactly what to do. And this is the thing, people talking about change and change and change. Change to what? Change to what? Kamala saying Rowley must go. Rowley must go, and who must come? We have to ask ourselves this question, And once the UNC is in the opposition, they will stay the opposition for I don't know exactly, because this woman have no idea. And Ms. Posabi says is a very smart person, But she think people in Trinidad are stupid, right? But I just want to let her know. People out here listen to what's happening. We listen all the time. It's just hard to get in your program sometimes.
Oh, we were trying to fix that.
Program because we need to share our views.
All right, so we will fix that.
Because we are out here. We are Trinidadians.
Yeah.
We want to contribute. We
All
can't
right.
be listening to. And there's a guy who named Wall Street in New Jersey calling and talking a bunch of nonsense all the time, like he knows everything. Mr. Wall Street, I would like to meet you head on. I would love to meet you head on. You talk like you know everything. What I'm saying is so.
All right.
It's so disingenuous with these people, man.
Thank you very much.
We have Dr. Rowley have a country to run, and it's not a parlor, It's not a parlor. It's a country.
Yes,
and
sir.
people need to get serious about running Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to try my best to make...
It really gets you upset sometimes.
All right, sir. We're going to try to make provisions to try to get you all on a little more regular, all right? Hello, good afternoon. Hello, hold on, caller. Hold on. Let me see how I can do this. Because my time is counting down. So I just have about 2 minutes again. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Pastor Google.
Uh-huh.
Good afternoon. You see, I had a man called Franklin Kahn and Eric Williams.
You have to be really quick, you know, because I hear that story a million times.
Yeah, so why is we still going down there? So if we know this is the character of these two people, we still get them 29 seats.
Well, that's that, and we know why they get that. Let's not fool ourselves. I don't want us to lose focus. How much people have on the live now? Close to 500 people.
You go very better.
Yeah, man.
Madam, since you believe that everyone is of the waterfront ilk, you too can go to hell. Go to hell, the deepest part of hell. Disrespectful.
Yes, my brother. You have to come to the reality that nothing the Prime Minister do or this PNM government do. All the naysayers will never agree, or even if they know within their heart what he do is good or what the government do is good, they'll never agree to it. That's just politics, you know. And also, I see you play a video clip there with Kamala and she protests and things. Them fellas and them having a pushback for the longest while. I think we on part 4, you know. And up to now, she never make her appearance in their session, so to speak. And yet still, up to this morning, they're balling out the liver string for them people and them. I don't know, nah? Maserati and boy, I tell you.
What he's saying there is so true. My time is up, Trinidad and Tobago. Coming up next is Bishop Aaron Williams, and then you have the VNR show. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Please, God, stay strong, stay blessed. Remember, be safe on the nation's roads. The roads are wet.
Shop at New City Mall and check out our premium selection of high-quality clothing and accessories for men and women. Save on all items with competitive prices and courteous service throughout the entire mall. New City Mall is located in the heart of Port of Spain with entrances at 3 Charlotte Street and number 41 Independence Square. We offer a variety of shirts, long and short sleeve, round and V-neck tops, vests, caps, hats, sunglasses, briefs, boxers, shorts, swim trunks, denim, jeans, long and 3/4.